about that. Didn't mean to leave. Okay, there's a reason I'm doing this show here, and we'll get into that. Before I get into anything too deep, well, it is kind of deep. The videos that have been circling around an Aloe show depicting a guy beating somebody up. Yes, that was the guy from the Bogo case. And the guy he was fighting with, I have no idea who he is, except I found out later he had a food company at one time and has nothing to do with me. I think Aloe is trying to say that I had something to do with that. That video was over 3 years old. There was never a case against this guy at that point. I never knew him. Still never. The only time I met this guy is in a courtroom. I just want to straighten that out. There's no conspiracy behind this. Secondly, and thank you for the donations anyway. Secondly, no, I never ran out of a courtroom yelling at the judge. Jesus Christ. This is why it's leading to what I have to say here now. Okay. I have emergencies going on both sides of the ocean right now. Literally. That's a little bit more important than dealing with trolls on a YouTube channel. Okay. It comes to a time. No, this is not one of those things where I say I'm going to get off and I come back on again. This is actually it. So YouTube is, you'll realize in life that YouTube is a tool, or it could be a hobby, but could also be very toxic. And it's been very toxic. It's been very toxic, okay? It's been very toxic. And propaganda that's being put around, I'll explain again. Nobody ran out of a courtroom. Nobody was yelling at the judge. Nobody attacked the defendant or had anybody try to attack the offendant, just so you know. Okay. And whatever went on, I've had that video for over 3 years, by the way. That was floating on Facebook. Someone gave it to me over 3 years ago. It's not like some new news to me. I've seen that video, actually. I've seen that video. I'm very, very well aware of it, just to let you know. There's not much I'm not aware of. And basically, I know that the defendant has been giving out information. Just like with that last case with Hawaii, it's the same shit. The information system is flowing. And the defendant himself is collaborating with YouTubers. That's what's going on. I'm not stupid. It's something that he probably shouldn't be doing for his own benefit, because I'm not on trial. He's on trial, not me. Let's keep that in mind. He's on trial. It was deemed by the prosecutor. Actually, it was deemed by a very high-ranking official over at the cybercrime unit, the Raku unit, and was sent to the prosecutors. This man made the arrest of him in Santa Fe, and he ran away. He's now living in Dumaguete. But he was living in Walbwal. He ran away to Walbwal. He's known in this community for a few things when he lived over here. And I'm not going to go into that, any legal purposes. What you saw on that video on there was an example of who this guy is. Okay. Apparently, in that video, he said something to that older man. He's a big guy. And I know exactly who the guy is. Actually, I've seen him before. He's not a friend of mine. Nobody hired him to beat up the defendant. That is so fucking ridiculous. So fucking ridiculous. Jesus Christ, guys. Stories are just being fabricated left and right. Well, I'm going to give people what they want. I'm going to get off YouTube, but I'm doing it voluntarily on my own. I think family is a lot more important than spending my time on YouTube and dealing with this crap. Barry's shit was enough for me. Dealing with all these clowns, my time is worth more than that. I got family emergencies, both sides of the ocean going on right now, which is a lot more important than spending my time with you. YouTube has been part of my life for a really long time. And to a certain degree, I enjoyed it as a hobby. But when things get too volatile, what status? What status is that? Face runner. What status? The pillar of the community? Look, a lot of guys have labeled me a whole lot of things, and this has all been hearsay. It's all made up, fabricated bullshit. If you knew me personally, you'd know better, but I'm not going to try to convince you. I know who I am, and everybody that knows me out here, relatives, anybody we know here in my life knows me too, okay? So I don't have to explain that to anyone. People are just very vicious on YouTube, and people could get hurt for being vicious, okay? Or legal matters could happen. I'm going to satisfy all the trolls and give them what they want, but voluntarily by me. Okay. I will remove myself from YouTube. That means no future super chat, nothing. Channel will be off. I'm certainly not going to miss super chat because I don't usually get much. And I can understand that if I was making tons of money on my show. Even that still wouldn't be a reason to stay on, because it's the environment is just too toxic on here. I would enjoy what years I have ahead of me without the headache of fucking YouTube. Now, I must admit, I was chuckling at Alo's video, trying to make a connection between me and the guy that got in a fight with the defendant. Okay, I was laughing at that. He's trying to make some kind of a correlation that I knew this guy personally and hired him or some shit like that. No, I don't do that. Okay, I don't hire anybody to do my dirty work. Some people may do that, but I don't do that. It has nothing to do with me. They had their own personal gripe. They were both restaurant owners, and they had their own personal gripe. And that was over 3 years ago. I've had that video over 3 years. It's nothing new. It didn't just happen. It was well before there was a case with the defendant. Just to let you know, because you're going to hear different on Alo's channel. This is all made up for suspense and for drama. That's all it is. Suspense and drama. To further the troll channels on here. Sometimes I kick back and I watch stuff on here and I can't believe what I'm witnessing, but I'm actually witnessing it. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Through the years, what I've seen and heard, lonely men who live in a little shack, have no friends, live in a horrible environment, lie to you day to day. They're only friends to the people on YouTube. I've seen people abusing Filipinas on here, many of them. It's disheartening. I mean, to see how people treat each other. It really is. And you find it all here on YouTube. But yeah, as I said, I got emergencies going on both sides of the ocean right now. And my family life and what's going on in my family life is more important than putting on a YouTube show. Okay, that's the bottom line. Well, you'll have to fill Jerry in, okay, because I'm not going to be on too much longer here. No, this is not one of those things where Frank says he's getting off YouTube, then he pops on again. No, that's not going to be happening this time. Overture, stage the lights. Off with the show. This is it. That's pretty much going on here. Family's a lot more important than people's issues and tissues on YouTube. I don't even know a good majority of these people on YouTube, but they seem to know me so well. Probably one of the biggest mistakes I ever made was getting on YouTube. I've never witnessed such vicious, vindictive people in my entire life who have nothing else better to do but to rag on other people, try to hurt people, go into their family business, personal lives. It's ridiculous. What happened is I'm getting off YouTube because family matters are just a little bit more important than dealing with a bunch of trolls on YouTube. I also explained that the video that's circling around of the defendant in the Battaglia case, Alo's trying to make a correlation that I hired this guy to go beat up the defendant. That video goes back over three and a half years. I'm aware of that video. I've had a copy of it. It's nothing new. From a CCTV camera in a restaurant. The two guys owned restaurants, and they had some differences, and they got into a fight. That's what it was. They got into a fight. That's all it was. I didn't hire the guy to go beat up the defendant. There was no case then. Never even knew of this guy at that point that video was put out. Never even knew the guy. Bottom line. So what Alo's trying to do, well, I think there's a correlation because I think he tried to hire this guy to go beat up the defendant. Jesus Christ, man. Then the courtroom thing. Apparently, the defendant is collaborating with people on YouTube, which is a no-no. That will be brought up in court too. The guy knows that he understands his situation clearly. Okay, clearly. He understands under the Republican Act codes on here, he could get up to 6 years in jail. So he feels his back's against the wall. So all of a sudden, he's the victim. He's the victim, not me. Well, who's in the courtroom? Who's on trial? Me or him? Him, not me. So he's doing what Fazio did with everybody. He's collaborating, Fazio and others collaborating with my tenants for the Hawaii situation. That's what's going on. The same thing is, there's certain information that was given out, I know had to come from the defense. Nobody would know anything. As far as me running out of the courtroom, nobody ran out of a court. When my time on the witness stand cross-examination was over, okay, we're done. Okay, thank you. And the girl gave me the attendant gave me the date of the next hearing. And I proceeded to go out the door. She said, no, sit down until, he finishes up. Then when he puts his gavel down, okay, then he could go out the door. Nobody ran out the door. Nobody was yelling at the judge. Nobody was yelling at the judge. I mean, these stories were all fabricated to contain drama for a show. I'm not that stupid that I'm bringing somebody to trial that I'm going to yell at the judge. That's absurd. But then again, welcome to YouTube. They got to create drama. Okay. Look, karma will take its place with all those trolls one way or the other. I truly believe in that. It is not my job to police YouTube. 42 people. Wow. It is not my job to police you. You guys want to be the online sheriff? You could be the online sheriff. Torch to you. Then again, I never really held the torch. If I defended myself on YouTube, it was because it was something personal that was projected to me that wasn't cool. All right. And by the way, the defendant, out of desperation, that's why he's in contact with various people on YouTube. I'm not stupid. I know what's going on. That will be brought up to the prosecutor too. That will definitely be brought up. Okay. And then people trying to get transcripts and everything. Do you have a fucking life at all? Does anybody have a resemblance of a fucking life? What do you guys do with your time? No offense, man, but what do you do with your time? Is it that bad? Is your life that miserable and lonely that you have to do YouTube channels about people that are very hatred and vindictive? I don't, I get it, but in some respects, I don't get it, because there's got to be something going on in their lives that's really lacking or something to spend the time they do on this kind of shit. I mean, I'm amazed. I'm still amazed. Even after experience this for many years, I'm still amazed. YouTube is not the place for me. We're not a good match. We're not a good match. I'm not going to get rich on my show, okay? That's not a positive for me. I believe I talked about everything about the Philippines I could possibly talk. I don't want to be like other channels who they just repeat the same goddamn thing over and over again. The income, how to get women out here, the whole ball of wax that you've been hearing for how many goddamn years. How much could I talk about on here, really? Although, I could ad-lib pretty well, as you figured out, but I think it comes a time to close the curtains. Off with the show. This is it. Seriously. I've got family matters to take care of on both sides of the ocean. There's some emergencies going on. I have one person that just died in her family, her sister's husband. Of course, I got issues going on with my family relative in Hawaii, and that's ongoing. And all I'm trying to do is live my life. But I'm going to live it without YouTube. Oh, I think I'll survive that. I should have gone off YouTube a long time ago. Look, it's fun. It's been fun for me in many ways. It has, or I wouldn't have stayed on that long. I think people are just too vicious on there. They're much too vicious. And I'm not saying that there's nothing else going on legally that I'm considering. You'll never know about that. You'll never hear about that because I'm not going to be on, okay? Silence is golden. But I will tell you, there's nothing wrong with my memory. Nothing wrong with my memory at all. I may forget where my keys are now and then, or my eyeglasses, but there's nothing wrong with my memory on what some people have done. I'll give you that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Shit'll hit the fan when it hits the fan. That's all I can tell you. But other than that, I think it's time. This time I mean it. You'll see. You won't even see my videos on there. I'm not looking to get AdSense. I don't need the money that bad to depend on AdSense or Super Chats. I really don't. I never did. It was always just a nice gesture to get Super Chats, but don't matter now. You should have saved your money, guys. Saved your money. $1.99 and the $2, whatever. You should have saved your money. Okay, so you're hearing it from me. I think that's the important thing. There's no conspiracy. Nobody hired anybody to go get into a fight with the defendant. False. That never happened. And I wouldn't do that. I didn't even know the existence of the guy at that time. There was no case against that guy at the time. So why would I try to get somebody to beat up on this guy? No reason. Doesn't make any sense at all. I just wanted to let you know about that. So you got the real story on this. Nobody ran out of the courtroom yelling and screaming. Damn, maybe you guys can make some money if you write a small novel or something, writing books, sell it on, ebooks or something. There's a lot of great storytellers out there, that's for sure. And Fazio, let me tell you something, dude. Fate is in store for you, I'm sure of it. Okay, you could run your mouth all you want to get all the attention you want, but you know what? You, sir, are your own worst enemy, and you'll understand why in time, and it's already happening to you. I don't think you're going to be around too much longer. Run your mouth all you want. Try to kiss ass of people who give you donations, and then when they don't, you slam them because they didn't pay for the membership. You got problems, dude. You got some serious problems. You have some serious issues. Deal with them in the short life that you have left. That's the best advice I could give you. The best advice I could give you. I know you're lonely. but you shouldn't be attacking people because of your loneliness. It's not my fault that you don't have a girlfriend. It's not my fault you're living in that shack. It's not my fault you have whatever illnesses you have. It's not my fault that, well, the behavior that you exhibit on your show, the things you say and do, which gives everybody a question mark about your mentality, that's not my doing. Okay, let's get to Ricky. Ricky's going to do what Ricky does. It's again, there's a similarity with the Yellow Man. Ricky's got his own issues, as most people on here do have issues. They all have issues. They all have reason and rhyme why they do what they do on their show. Why they try to trump up the drama. Aloe has his own reasons for doing his shit. They all have their own reasons why they do the things they do on here. Now, you're not going to miss me. There's always somebody else out there to attack. Always somebody else out there to attack. We're going to do a little bit, we're not going to be a terribly long show. We're going to talk a little bit more on this before I do sign off. I just want to get everything straight. If any of you all had any questions about anything, all you had to do was ask and not listen to these trolls. That's why they're called trolls. You think they're going to tell the truth about something? You think they're not going to exaggerate the truth or stretch it or just plain out lies? That's what trolls do. Duh. Okay? I'm not any of these things that people accuse me of on here. Not any of these things. And if I had said something in the past, I've already been through this speech before, where I've offended somebody out of being angered at something they said, I already apologized for that. And that's over. My slate is clean. That's it. So it's time to get the fuck off this fucking loony farm. I know it's entertainment for you guys, but Jesus Christ, man. No offense, but surely you must have something better to do with your lives than to listen to all these miserable shows with miserable people putting on these shows who have more issues than tissues and psychological problems, sociological problems. I'm not anybody's psychiatrist on here, and I'm not going to pretend to be. I may give you health information, but man, I'm no psych. I just know when somebody's a mental case and they're not. That's apparent to everybody. No names mentioned on here. But you deduct who those people might be, and we got a nice little bunch of coconuts out there, if you know what I mean. So, Aloe, let me give a message to you, man. You know, Aloe, you got some fucking issue. And your big issue with me is that I challenged the RRR Club. That's your issue with me. That's what it is. You are quite a narcissist. And you don't like anybody challenging at all. And it upsets you. And you got people living in fear of you? A nameless, faceless troll? Shame on the people that are actually in fear of this guy. Everyone associated with Aloe, the so-called, criminal club, what they call them, they are criminals. They certainly are. They're mental cases. They're mental cases. They are sick people. If I want to join a mental asylum, or work in one, or live in one, that's something I would do. But to voluntarily be part of this fucking mental asylum called YouTube, that's not my gig. It's not my gig. Who's a fool? Oh, Philippines and beyond. Okay, I think you got the clear message. I am leaving voluntarily. Nobody's forcing me out of here. I mean, I should have done this a long time ago. Just get the facts straight. People that don't like somebody else are not going to say kind things about them on YouTube. You can't figure that out. You probably never will. They will make up and fabricate stories that never happened. They will try to tarnish somebody's character beyond belief. They've done that too. Oh, go fuck yourself, Granville. Go fuck yourself. You want to make a bet on this? Bet on it this time? Yeah. You lose the bet. Anyway, my videos will not even be on there. Okay. I'm not worried about AdSense. I'm not worried about fucking super chat. Super chat. Gogo Bobo's sister did. Called you a fool. You're even arguing with each other on my show here. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Look, my family is a lot more important than this shit on here. And I've dealt with a lot of shit on here, and I've had a lot of fun too. Oh, believe me, I had a lot of. I would have been on that long. Trust me. It wasn't like I was making money, and that's what kept me on. Hey, man, it was entertaining to me, man. From day one, it was entertaining for me. I'm not going to lie and say it wasn't. It was really entertaining for me. It was an interesting hobby. But I got to examine human nature at its worst. Not its best, at its worst. And my conclusion is, I don't ever want to join a club that'll have me as a member. So I don't want to be a member of this club. That's the... I just don't, you know. Maybe if I lost my monkey-ass mind, I'd stay on here. But I assure you that I'm quite mentally competent and enough to realize that this is a mental asylum on here. People attacking each other, not just me being attacked. I mean, God, people are just attacking each other like crazy on here, man. 8 years of fun, somewhere around there, man. Fun. Remember, it's more fun in the Philippines, right? All right, so I don't know which more to say here. You've made your donations already. I'm not even sure if I'm going to get them. I actually just got paid today for whatever I had coming in with me. That probably is going to be the last payment on here, more than likely. Because I'm never going to make another $100 on here to get a payment. I'd have to make another $100 to get paid for next month. That's the way it works, you know. And that ain't going to happen on my show, you know. Ain't going to happen on this show, and it obviously ain't going to happen on no future shows because it's not going to be. Now, I will tell you one thing. A lot of you people really depended on me on hearing some interesting shit on my show, whether it had to be about the community or whatever shit I talked about. You're going to feel an empty space when I'm gone, guaranteed. You're going to be jonesing, baby. You're going to be jonesing, and you know it. You'll be jonesing. But there's plenty of people to attack out there, and I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. There's plenty of people to attack. What happened was when Barry got out of the picture, and, well, concentration had to be on Ricky at the time. Ricky's been quiet for the past 4 days. I wonder why. Now, people jump in, like Fazio. He jumps in on the action every time. If it's against me, he's there making statements against me. He's talking to people on the phone. And they really shouldn't be talking to the defendant in this case anyway, in regards to the Bago case. I'm not sure it's even allowed, but that will be brought up in court. I guarantee you that. I'll guarantee you that. This guy is trying to make himself look like he didn't do anything wrong. Well, let me explain something to you guys so you learn something. I'm not on trial. He is. And the cybercrime boss, along with the prosecutor in Cebu, not the one in Bago, is the one that instituted this case because they felt that there was enough and more evidence to show that what he posted on his Facebook was against the Republican Act codes of cybercrime. That's why there's a trial. I'm not on trial. I'm not on trial there. He is, okay? And whatever the judge decides, I go with. Now, he's trying to do is to discredit me. I'm telling you exactly. He's trying to discredit me, presenting videos for this or that, which are irrelevant. But when your back is against the wall, and he knows he could face 2 to 6 years and up to a 200,000 to possibly under 1 million pesos in penalties, yeah, of course he's going to defend himself. Of course he's going to, fight tooth and nail and get videos just like they did with the Hawaii case, talking to the tenants, all this other shit. That's what's going on. It's the exact thing that's going on. He's reaching out, and he did from the beginning, from Warren H. And he's getting information and videos, and I know he's on here. He could be the Battalion Brawler for all I know. I would not be surprised because he's done wrestling in his life. I can't say that's him, but it's a good possibility that's who he is. Fuck the subscribers, man. Remember, they were bought, right? Isn't that what you guys said? They were bought? Hey, look, I've done what I can on here, man, but my family is the basis of this saying fuck to this shit is that my family life is more important than YouTube. And I'm sorry if that bothers you. I'm sorry if you don't see the sensibility to this. You don't think I'm calling my wife. You don't think my wife has gone through stress through the years with all this YouTube shit? Of course she has. Do you think she hasn't been unnecessarily mocked and doxxed and what they've done with her photographs and calling her a whore and shit? I'm telling you, man. If there was no law in this country, I know what I would do to these people. Use your imagination. I know what I would do to these people. If this was a lawless land, people have done this for less. You think I forget this shit? You think I forget who said it? I'll never forget. I'm never going to forget. Keep that in mind, ever. Yeah. So with that being said, yes, I'm aware of that video. I had that well before Aloe acquired. I was very aware that he got in trouble in the community a lot here. He was the Chicago tough guy who claims that New York food ain't even food. Bullshit. Chicago food? What are they known for? Fucking deep dish pizza? I've had Chicago deep dish pizza and I thought it was shit. It was all fucking bread. Fuck your pizza. Fuck your pizza. You don't know what good food is until you go to New York. And I don't think there'd be anybody would disagree with that. There was a statement he made somewhere on his Facebook page about that. I was laughing. And you don't know what was happening. Or the statements that was on his Facebook page. You don't know what he was trying to get people to do. And I'm the culprit here? And he's trying to play innocent. I'm the victim. I was just trying to tell the community, warning the community that there's a sexual predator around. He had no right to do that. Look what Barry is with 5 counts against him. That's what he did. Yeah, he's worried. Of course he's worried. He's got a wife and some kids, but that's not my fault. I have no compassion. Even if we came to a point at this point right now that we settled this matter, it's not about the money. I don't even want his money. Even if they offered me money, I don't want any money. It's not the money, it's the principle. And he's going to pay for it, but not with money. I don't want his money. I don't want any settlement offers. I'm not after the money. I don't need it. It's the principle of what he did. So I want my audience to learn from this. Look where Barry is and what's happening with him. This could happen to this guy. Of course he's going to be defensive. Of course he's going to lie. Of course he's going to claim to be the victim when he's the one on trial. Of course. Well, actually, it's according to where you are in New York. Of course, New York has the best pizza, the best everything, man. Hey, Seattle smells like pee, too. You go down to the, what do you call it, district? Old Seattle. My God, the bums are pissing everywhere around there. That smells like pee. It smells like pee out here no matter where I go in the Philippines. You walk down Cebu streets, walk down local streets, but mostly, you know, the big city. It all smells like pee. Yeah, that's another thing that came up. I never was asking anybody for $500,000 to drop the suit. To drop the suit? Wait, you got things wrong. I'm not on trial, Philippines and beyond. They would be the people who have to offer me something, not me offer them something. You got this a little bit backwards. Yeah, that's another out-and-out lie. They had a chance during arbitration to settle this out if they wanted to, but there would have been a requirement of a public letter of apology, okay? That was a requirement, okay? And he could have been out of it with this one. And if he did at the time offer me any money, it would have to have been a whole lot of money, but they would not agree on. And not even at this point, if their lawyer came up to the prosecutor and said, look, you know, my client could face 2 to 6 years in prison. Why don't we settle this amicably? I don't want his money. I don't care how much it is. I don't want his money. It's the principle here. You all think I'm after the money all the time. It's not the money. I don't care about that anymore. No, I wasn't asking for $500,000. Well, you know, listen to those shows. I mean, they know all the information, right? Jerry, I don't know anything about it. I'm the one that's bringing this case on this guy. I wouldn't know anything. I'm going to believe them or me. Barry, how does Barry come into this? Okay, you guys all done? Okay, thanks for a couple of donations. Take care. For those who've been following me for a long time, I appreciate those who actually have been good viewers. Barry won what? Time in jail? How did Barry win? I don't know. That's a strange statement there. Barry won. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have to pay rent anymore. That's a winning, sort of, I guess. Barry won. Give me money. Give who money? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You guys are kind of weird, man. Okay, he's in jail. That's where he's at, and that's where he's going to stay. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, I accomplished my job with Barry. That was a big undertaking. And to tell you the truth, I was supposed to get off YouTube back then. I promised myself I didn't keep my promise. I said, when I finally get this guy in jail, that's going to be it. Because I was waiting for that. And it actually happened. And you have no idea. You have no idea. There's no words to describe. And I basically, you know, figuratively knocked that smirk off his skinny little ass, dumb hillbilly ass. I am so ecstatic about that. You have no idea. That was a major accomplishment. I mean, major. What goes on with Barry from there is up to immigration. It's up to the courts. I'm also not giving Barry any liberty either. I'll be honest with you. I'll be just happy if they just deport him and not let him come back in the country. I could settle for that instead of going on to a courtship. My lawyer's already retained for this. He has to represent me with Barry anyway to go to court. The only extra money I would have to put out, it's just his trips back and forth to the court. That's all it really is. I'm done with that. I don't owe the lawyer any money. And in this case with the other guy, oh, that's another thing too. Let's talk about all this money I'm putting out on a lawyer. I don't have a lawyer. It's the Republic against this defendant. There's a prosecutor involved. I don't have a lawyer. I don't need a lawyer. There's no money involved with this except for my transportation to get to and fro to the courthouse and have to pay the witnesses transportation money. That's it. There's no money involved. That's another lie that John Blaze was putting out. John, you got some problems, dude. For somebody who wants to enter the community, you're doing a pretty bad job of now introducing yourself as a troll, which you've done a long time ago. I don't think a lot of people like you that much, John Blaze, Larry Evans, and I definitely decided I don't like you either. As far as I'm concerned, all these trolls could go to fucking hell. And in fact, they're actually living hell right now. They got an RSVP to the real hell when they die. You got the Big Mount Yellow Man. Well, we know where he's going. That guy is 1 foot in a banana, 1 foot in the fucking grave. You can't figure that out. Ricky ain't doing too good himself, if you haven't figured that out either. Big Kevin? Fuck no. These people don't have long to live. Now, I'm not saying I'm wishing it on them. I'm just saying that I don't think there's a lot of longevity with these people, considering their weight, health issues, pre-existing health issues, sedentary lifestyle, some of them. There's nothing I have to do. Let Father Time take care of it. Let Mother Nature take care of it. I have nothing to do with that. I accomplished what I needed to accomplish. This is a longer speech than I wanted to make. 41 minutes. I thought it was only going to be on here for about 15 minutes. You people could fight with each other, do whatever the hell you want. I don't give a shit anymore. And if you want to believe the bullshit on people's shows, you believe it. Everybody is a hypocrite on here. They contradict about everything they say. They make up stuff. I don't give a shit, Tommy Boy, if Ricky goes after Yellow Man. That's their business. It's not my business. It's none of my business. I don't give a shit who kills who on here. Okay, I don't care who drops dead on here on their own means, but I certainly would never hire anybody. I would never hire anybody to beat somebody up. And all this crap that, yeah, I know he's a cowhand. I realize that. I'm an old cowhand from the Rio Grande. Hey, I'm singing. Oh, you're going to miss that. I know you are. I'm going to miss that too. I like singing, dancing. I'm never really that unhappy. You've been watching my show for a while. I really get into it, man. I have fun, but it got to a point it's just too goddamn toxic, dudes. But more so, I got two things going on, two different oceans, okay? More important to me, and my family life is more important to me, okay? So, my very good one, Chifikichi. My socks are made for dance. They certainly are, man. Chifikichi understands that. Victory Dance says Philippines Guru. As far as I'm concerned, I am leaving here victorious. Why? Nobody ever chased me off YouTube ever. They never took my channel down. I fought adversity on here like nobody could take. And I accomplished what I said I was going to do. To get some scumbag, dumbass fucking hillbilly in jail or deported where he belongs. And that's big for me. Well, Ricky depends on these women to show his manhood. We got the other guy who needs a tool to show his manhood. We got some sick people on here, man. And Michael, let me give a message directly to you. You got some problems, dude. You really got some problems. You are probably your own worst enemy, I would say that. And this is your whole life, and you have the gall to talk about me? I got a house. I got a steady woman of over 7 years. What do you have, Michael? You have nothing but that dilapidated shack, that piss hole that you call your home. You need mental help, sir. You need mental help, sir. And you also need medical help, walking around with 185 over 139. When did you figure you had a problem? Oh, that's right. You couldn't afford to buy a blood pressure monitor. Get out the fucking violins. Dudes, I know you talk about all this shit on YouTube. I really don't give a shit what Ricky's doing, what April's doing. Everybody's kissing each other's ass on here to make money. What do you think Michael's doing? Somebody gives him a 20 to his best friend. If somebody disembarks from his membership, they're his enemy. Remember, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And that's the theme everybody plays on here. All right, folks. Overture, Stage the Lights. I think I should play an appropriate song for this. Let me find the right song. But as I told you, folks, if you wanted to know something, all you had to do was ask me. All this shit that's being put around on me on YouTube all these years is just to benefit people financially, or they have a complex of some sort. There's envy in my relationship, envy that I'm able to live out here. Some of them can't make it out here. It's a lot of envy. They're living their lives vicariously through a lot of people on here that are actually, a lot of the trolls don't even live in the Philippines. You got to remember that. None of them. Not none of them, but I mean, a lot of them. Okay, hold on. I'll continue, if you don't mind, listen to the song.
So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end that's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
It's called, I think you get. Okay, I think we'll end it with, yeah, why not? Let's end it with.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and sigh? Fall and sigh, my dear, fall and sigh. We'll take a cup of kindness yet, fall and sigh. We two have read about the slopes and peaks, the days is fine. We'll take a cup of kindness yet, fall and sigh. Fall and sigh, my dear, fall and sigh. We'll take a cup of kindness yet, fall and sigh. Should old acquaintance be forgot and then, my dear, fall and sigh. We'll take a yet, fall
And looks like I might be having to make a trip to. My brother isn't doing too well. So we got family things going on here that are a lot more important than YouTube. And YouTube is so absolutely insignificant to me compared to life issues. Fortunately, I'm doing very well with my health, and my existence is fine. My relationship is fine. Sometimes things happen in the family, her family, life goes on, but medically, he's not really in good shape. So I might have to be making a trip to Hawaii soon, actually. He's not in good shape, he's really not. So it's the way it is. And some things you can't prevent in life. But there is one thing I could prevent, is having to subject myself to this crap on YouTube. I don't know how I lasted this long, to be honest with you. You want honesty? I'll tell you honesty. I don't know how. I don't know how I stayed on YouTube money. And you never will. Okay. The other thing is that people say things on here that seriously. That's why somebody's in jail right now. And that's why some fighting for their freedom. Ambulance chase. I'm not trying to sue everybody. Only something that very seriously. And I always will. Oh, fuck Allo, fucking psychopath, sociopath. I bet you his wife doesn't know anything about what he does on the side when she ain't around. These are true sociopaths and psychopaths. It's not an insult, it's just a fact. I don't need to subject myself every fucking day to do psychopaths out there. Come on my show that don't really give a shit about me. They don't really give a shit each other on here. So many bouts with each other where they were on and off with issues too. They always had issues. Issues and tissues. They're all at each other's throats at one point or another. Offended me or mine will pay in their own way. I'm sure of it. You want one more verse of something? I'll play you that. I'm just having a little fun here. Perfect. Hold on. This is a theme that started my show. And it's going to be a theme that's going to end my show. Guys, I'm telling you, if you needed to know something, you could have asked me. I'm no fucking child predator. I'm not hiring people to hurt somebody. That's not to get back here. Where was I? Something else. But I think this is going to be the appropriate.
Nani?
Huh? Okay, take care, folks. Don't believe everything you hear in life, especially on YouTube. Go on with your life, man. Just barely getting off here, juice, whatever. More important than listen to this crap on here.
The TV at home always has a
Well, I guess I was never proficiently perfect, but, you know, it is what it is.